Everybody has an escalator mentality. Most people do. Most Americans, most people around the world have an escalator mentality. An escalator mentality is essentially when someone, when faced between two choices, right, for example, stairs or an escalator, will choose the escalator every single time, right? They'll go ahead and pick the easier route, something that is just almost like devoid from pain, and just kind of, how we're always wired to just avoid pain, right? But it has downsides. When you're avoiding, just even in a physical sense, the stairs, right? When you choose the escalator, right? Compared to someone who's on the stairs are superior, right? Like, you're bringing your heart rate up, right? You're working on your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves. Like, you're burning calories, extra calories, right? So you'll end up leaner. And especially if you do this as a habit, right? Of just, always choosing the stairs no matter what. And if you go to the gym, there's no excuse. Like, even if you think you work out, like, it's never a bad thing to hit the stairs, when you have the choice. Even if it's a couple floors, like, you got this, like, you'll be fine. It'll actually be for your benefit, right? But of course, this translates to other scenarios, right? There's many different times where, you've probably chosen the escalator, as have I, right? Maybe in terms of, I'll just choose to have this, like, extra sugary drink instead of something that's actually good for me that tastes bad, right? Or this meal that tastes really good that is terrible for me and that will, cause me to, be undisciplined, versus the meal that nourishes me that maybe doesn't taste as good, kind of like really sour Greek yogurt, right? Because you can have cereal in the morning, or you can have Greek yogurt. I mean, cereal is obviously more enjoyable. It has sugar. It has, simple carbs, right? It has, like, everything that makes, the mornings a little nicer, right? But on the other hand, like, you have, like, a bowl of yogurt, right? And you have, some granola in there that's, like, naturally sweetened, so not that sweet at all. And you have some fruit in there that's, maybe crushed up. And, like, objectively, the cereal is better tasting, right? But which one is better for you? That's what I mean, right? If you were to sit there and track someone who had oatmeal for breakfast, and, oatmeal and, granola and that Greek yogurt, versus someone who has cereal, track their health, like, in 20 years, yeah. I mean, one person, the person eating the Greek yogurt is going to be significantly healthier, right? They've chosen to add in, like, the microbiome, like, microbes into their diet. They've had, complex carbs, very important. They've had the micronutrients in the fruit, right? And they've also, like, had the protein in the yogurt, which is fantastic, right? Versus the person with the simple sugars, the simple carbs, and, like, the milk that, may be processed, right? So which one will you choose, right? Because that's really what it comes down to, is that the escalator mentality is just a bad choice. That you face between two options, you choose the easier one, right? I could go on and on, like, through the examples, right? But there's less traffic on the stairs anyways, right? When you look at an escalator and stairs, especially, like, you've seen, like, photos of, like, a New York subway, right? It's always the stairs that are vacant and the escalators are just packed. So many people are just dying not to move or not to do anything, to conserve the calories that they don't even burn. Most of those people don't even go to the gym. What are they, what calories are they trying to save, right? It's not like they're, on a bulk and they're trying to, conserve how much they burn so they can bulk more and be more efficient, all that, right? And they're not doing that. They're just not. They're just choosing the path of least resistance, right? That's what David Goggins would call it. I'd consider myself a student of him, and the escalator mentality is something I would like to say I coined. I came up with it the other day, but really it's just something to, remember when you're faced between, cold shower, hot shower, cold shower, hot shower, right? Like, which one are you going to choose? Music, no music, music, no music, right? Like, are you going to add, like, a bunch of sugar packets to your coffee, or are you just going to have some creamer, right? Some natural, like, fat, just to kind of give it a better taste instead of adding artificial sugar, right? Or stevia, I don't know. But you know what I mean, right? Even in the cold shower and hot shower scenario, right? It's not a direct, like, you can't really see like the direct difference, because hot showers are not necessarily bad for you, right? They're not going to make you lose your gains. You know, you're not going to die, right? You're not going to get like fat, but there are side effects, right? So with a cold shower, you know, you're gaining testosterone, right? By not killing off your sperm, essentially, not boiling them off, right? You're not making yourself sweat in the shower. You're not dehydrating yourself. You're shocking your immune system, so you're causing yourself to have a stronger immune system, and you're learning how to calm yourself down, right? And relax in the face of stress, right? All of those and more are the great benefits of cold showers. Now, by choosing hot showers, you are actually missing out on those benefits. So you are technically losing them, right? When you're on the escalator, you're losing on the benefits of the stairs, right? You're losing on, you know, maybe the little bit of, you know, muscle growth that happens when you walk up some stairs and gain some endurance and all that, right? You're losing that because you're not choosing it, right? So when you choose the artificial sugar in your coffee, you know, maybe you go to Starbucks and you get a mocha latte, you know, like triple whipped cream and all those, you know, salted caramel, all that bullshit, right? When you get that essential like bottle or, you know, cup of sugar, right, versus, you know, a cold brew, even that is a big difference, right? For cold brew, you're getting caffeine. Just, it's 0 calorie. There's nothing to it, right? You're just getting caffeine. Versus the cup of sugar, right? You can get like a, what is it? Frappuccino literally has no caffeine in it. Like, isn't that insane? You're literally going to Starbucks and you're getting no caffeine. What's the point? You get a sugar high and then you get a sugar crash. I mean, there's no point to that, but it just tastes good. So of course, let's go for that, right? Again, escalator mentality. Right? The majority go on the escalator. The minority go on the stairs. The majority are fat, you know, and sad. The minority are in shape and happy, right? That's just how it is. So, in my opinion, it's in your best interest to choose the things that are slightly more difficult. It'll work on your mental toughness, right? It'll make things that are ordinarily difficult a lot easier to deal with, right? In any circumstance in life, once you know, kind of bring up your threshold of suffering, the volume on everything else just decreases. Things get a lot easier, and I'm telling you from personal experience. I went from, you know, crying in an airport, you know, with nowhere to go because I lost, you know, I forgot to get to my flight, to, you know, I didn't even like hardly cry. I didn't cry whenever my girlfriend broke up with me, right? Like, just kind of kept on. I'm not saying I didn't go through it, but, you know, I've changed a lot. I used to be the type to cry, you know, on a whim, and now it takes me a while, right? Not that I don't feel the emotion, but I can process through it, right? Most of the time, and most importantly, just choosing the staircase mentality makes you have to develop coping mechanisms, right? Just the coping mechanisms to get you through that pain. Maybe it's not as painful to, you know, choose no sugar, right? Maybe it's not that bad, but, you know, especially cold showers, that's not easy, right? It's not easy to, you know, stay disciplined and do that, you know, especially for any long period of time. But you'll learn, you know, especially in cold shower sense, to breathe deep, right? Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, you know, box breathe, right? And you just breathe away the stress brought on by the cold shower, and you learn to calm yourself, right? And then when you have an you know, aggravating situation, right? Someone calls you out, your boss gets mad at you, right? You breathe in and out, and you deal with it because you've practiced, right? You've practiced doing the hard things. You've practiced taking the stairs. So when it comes to, you know, doing difficult shit, you've already done it. And it just becomes that much easier. I cannot recommend it enough.